Hello everyone, this is Shadow Dragon, and I'm trying out something new as we follow today's DCUO live stream presenting the next version of the Mega Resurgence capsules. So I actually tried this last time and the computer crashed. So I'm giving this another try. We're going to be doing a reaction video to things that are presenting in the live stream. So I have no idea what this is. They were pretty vague about it, but the last time we had the Resurgence capsule, we had the power auras. And we were paying for, I believe, we paid the price of 7 capsules to open 9. So I'm not sure how it's going to work this time around, if it's going to be the 9 most recent, or if they're going way back and letting us have all of them for the same price. That would be a really good bargain if they kept the price the same and increased the number of capsules. So that I'm actually more interested in that than what the special gift is. But we should see in a little bit because we're hitting 4 o'clock right now. Okay, I do hear MEPS and SJ in the background, so just about to get started. Alright, so right now I have no idea if their audio is coming out. Like, I could barely hear it, so I don't know if it's because their mics are turned down or if it's because of the system I'm using. Okay, but this looks like they're giving us a fire material. They're displaying it with the fire aura from the previous capsule, previous Mega-Capsule. So yeah, this looks really good. It looks better than the Phoenix material, actually. There's more contrast, and it's not overriding most of the detail there, because Phoenix was a little bit too flashy. Like, it would cover up some of the detail.
All of them this time, all of them inside. They're the same as what they were when they launched, except for that changes the
Alright, so this is going to be a pretty long video if it's going to do the power sets. Because there are going to be 17. 15 powers, and then you have the hard light that's 2 versions, and then celestial that's also 2 versions. Okay, so it's still a 7 stabilizer unlock. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and turn down their video because I can't hear it anyway, and I don't want like 2 different audio streams going as I record. But I'm going to link to this in the description below when they do the replay on YouTube. Okay, so now they're just showing the material itself. And something to note, when you apply a material to all the parts, it's good to pick some parts that show skin, because otherwise there's no contrast and it looks tacky. So this is a good choice. Good choice of styles that they're showing here. So definitely think of that when you apply all. Just choose your parts carefully. And this is also a good example because they're displaying parts that would otherwise not work together. Because that's the Viking helmet, and that is mostly the future Circe style. Alright, so this would be the lantern one. I'm not going to say hard light because it kind of looks metallic to me. So this is sort of like applying the energy armor effect to any shape now. Now we can get a lot of variety for Green Lanterns. Okay, so now that they're zoomed in a little bit, it looks more like energy armor or hard light. Now I think applying effects to a material rather than an aura, we're going to see less of a difference in quality. Because they varied greatly with the power auras that we saw last time. Like if we say fire is the best one, going by price, nature was clearly the worst one. Now, while I still like it and I was able to craft a style for my nature character, there's definitely a difference in the effects quality between the two. But with the effects being like melded into the armor itself, it's going to be disguised, and I think everything is actually going to look good. And that is not good for the wallet, actually, because I can see a lot of these materials working, with just several different styles. So when I put that into the cast of my characters, it seems like I'm going to be consuming a whole bunch of these for multiple characters. Like, I'm not just going by power set here. But thinking about what they showed so far, fire is going to be going on my 2 fire characters. I could work on atomic, and a lot of these are going to work on Takesis, simply because she represents the 5 dragons, 5 chromatic dragons, so she could have 5 different powers plus sorcery. And now we're looking at yellow light. So this would be like an energy armor for fear. And the 2 light powers can pretty much work as like generic yellow and green. Like, these are going to look good on any style that uses those 2 colors as their main palette. So I do have a lot of characters that use yellow. I have 2 that could possibly use the green. The yellow can also kind of act as like a cartoony version of gold. So right now I think fire looks better than the 2 light ones, and of the 2 light ones, the green one looked better because it just had more contrast. I mean, you can't really do that with yellow because it's already a light color, and if you start adding contrast to yellow, it's going to become something else. It's going to become gold, which they're probably going to do that for, like, Celestial would probably look more gold. Alright, so that is mental. It's going to be hard to distinguish probably mental and dark Celestial because both are purple. So I'm just going by the aura that they're using. Mental is going to be lighter. And it is shifting a little bit as they move the character around, as the character animates as well. That's probably something they're talking about right now. Yeah, already I can see this being a tough set to acquire. As in the aura sets as a whole, because I'm just thinking of all the different ideas and the different characters I want these on. I think as a more realistic goal, I gotta try to get them all on the account, like at least one of each, and then I'll start going for the duplicates. So far they are picking some good styles because they're allowing some of the skin to show through. So definitely note the pieces that they're using here. So that chest piece is the Valentine's Day style. That shows the arms and some of the chest. Okay, so Earth has a lot of animation to it. And for this one, they did cover the whole body. See, I don't like the look of that too much, like when you put a material and it's covering the entire body. But I can see what they're going for in this one. It's like I mean, they picked parts that made him look like a statue, which kind of works for Earth. Now this one looks really good, but I don't think it fits any of my characters, and of course I don't have an Earth character. But it sort of looks like a complex gold that moves. But quality-wise, I would put this one up with fire. If that didn't move, it would look like a gold chainmail. But I could see that being used if you have an Earth character and you want some kind of like an elemental quality. So I'm kind of hoping that one is worth a lot. There are a lot of Earth characters out there. And that is one that I would try to earn money for to pay for the others. So it seems like they're spending about 3 to 4 minutes per aura. And it's interesting this time around because they have different characters set up. That's what the zoning is. So it's cutting away from the game screen and then they're zoning. So they are switching characters behind the scenes. So they took the time to kind of pick out and style characters that matched each material. Okay, what is that? I was trying to turn. Okay, that's quantum. I was trying to see if that was quantum or water. Alright, so this one has a lot of contrast to it, and it's animated. I may actually use this for water rather than quantum. But we'll see what water looks like. I have a couple of quantum characters, but they're not really like that powered, where they would have a suit made to look like their power. One is a Sith/Jedi, and I'm just basically using the quantum powers to mimic the Force Unleashed, so he wouldn't wear this. The other one is like a Superman-inspired character that I was just using quantum for like the blue special effects. So he also wouldn't wear this. But this would fit a lot of my water styles. And I can see this working well with the Umbral Storm aura. It's got the same colors. And this actually looks good with the quantum aura. That was one of the auras I didn't like as much. Because that aura with like the circles and rings, it doesn't match any of Quantum's powers. I'm not so sure this material does either, because Quantum doesn't have any blacks in there. It's more on the light side of blue. Okay, that's that's obviously Rage. So the Rage material looks more solid than the other two light ones so far. Now this one I'd be interested to see without the aura. Because it from here it looks like it could pass as like a red metallic, which would be really cool. Like I would use that on several characters. But okay, I definitely want one of these for my Rage character. And the thing is, a lot of my other characters have red suits. There's my Speedster, there's Alyssa, Shadow Dragon, Takesis. All wear red. So we'll have to see like how the community reacts to this, how much they go crazy buying this stuff. Because I mean, at $7, and then considering all the different ones, it's gonna get expensive. Yeah, this could look pretty good on a non-Rage character that uses red. The effects does look like it kind of pops off the gear piece. So it's almost aura-like without an aura. But I'm sure they went over this already because I have the sound turned down. But I'm really hoping that this is not RNG actually, because just thinking about all the ones that I want, and then each mega being $7. I mean, I would certainly open more if it wasn't RNG, which sounds odd, because it's natural to open more when it's RNG, because you have to do several attempts. Okay, so this is Dark Celestial. Yeah, I like this one a lot. Definitely going on my Dark Celestial character. I'm thinking this could work for Sorcery, depending on what the Sorcery one looks like. Sorcery is a tough one because it's two colors and not totally matching. So what you could do in the case of Sorcery is you could use this as a material and then put like a red, a subtle red aura. But we'll have to wait and see what the Sorcery material looks like. But being purple, this could also work on a mental character, depending on how you styled your mental character. But these are definitely the color. It's the color palette of Dark Celestial, because they go from black to purple when that power fires out. The Dark Celestial aura is a little bit more subtle than the others, so not much of a difference when they turn it on and off. And let's see, the chest piece, they're either using, I think that's Archangel or Angelic. The head is the Steppenwolf style. So I just want to call those two pieces out because they are exposing the skin. And this is Atomic. Again, complementing the aura. So Atomic looks very contrasty. It's almost more black than orange. So atomic and fire are actually pretty interchangeable, because this, like if you had like a lava type character, you would probably pick this one, whereas the fire one is a little bit more metallic. It's like a contrasty phoenix material, whereas this one, it animates differently. It's a little bit more liquidy. So this would be for more of an elemental type effect. I would definitely want this on multiple characters. And that makes me wonder how they're going to do unlocks. Because at the moment they can't do unlocks for materials. So I'm hoping that's something they'll have the technology to do later in the future. So with each one, they are moving the camera around the character, and as the character animates, you're seeing like some of the effects react to that. Okay, there we go. There's Sorcery. So they did get purple and red in there. Sorcery was one of the auras I didn't like because I felt it was too thick. Although it looks good with the material here. So it's almost like Sorcery is like an iridescent that's gradating from purple to red, except that it's animated like without the character moving around. Yeah, this one I would definitely want for my Sorcery character. Although I would probably apply a different aura to it. This one I might have to play around with. I might go with the mental aura, or I might go with red nimbus. But the other nice thing about a lot of these is they almost have like a thin aura to them, so that you could apply something else. Like if you wanted to apply a localized aura, you would still look like you had a complete aura. And for this one, the top is one piece, and the bottom is the Circe style, the ancient divine sorceress. Again, showing skin. Now also, if you think outside the box a little bit, like when I say skin, you don't necessarily have to pick a human skin. Like what I typically do is I use the skin as sort of an under armor, so I'll set it to like one of the other materials, and I'll set it to like a different color. So that would sort of add a different material to contrast with the material, the actual material you're applying. Like on Shadow Dragon, his whole body is covered, so his under armor is like black. Sometimes I use crystal, sometimes I use glow. And then his armor is the champion material. Sometimes I have bronze, and then there's a silver version. So you can definitely get creative, and there are a lot of combinations you can do with that. So definitely play around with the various skin types as you apply your materials, because you don't want to look cheesy. Okay, this is gadgets. Yeah, gadgets sort of had like an aura that didn't really match the power. It looks more Matrix-like, whereas the power is like teal. I actually think they should update the gadget's powers to match this color set, because this looks really good. So this is pretty much the aura applied to gear pieces. It looks exactly the same. And then they added black parts for contrast for the shadow areas. And because of the patterning, like it's not as generic as the others, I would just put this on my gadget's character. Alright, moving on to electric. Wow, electric's animation is really synced up with that aura. Now, if you remember back to the electric aura, that was one of the ones that wasn't well received on the live stream, but then the prices and the broker told a different story. Like this was often second to fire, and I think its value just went back up because I would say this one the aura and material set matches the best of any of the ones they showed so far. And the material kind of looks generic enough that it could be used as a metal, but we'll see what it looks like without the aura. This could be like an electrified or powered gold material. Yeah, that looks really good. See, part of me doesn't want these to look super good because I'm going to want multiple versions of it. And that's just not going to be possible with the prices of these. Yeah, for this one, the priority would go to my Speedster. But pretty much any character that wears a gold suit could switch to this. Alright, we've got munitions. And I'm looking carefully at this because I want this to be the camouflage material that has been requested. So munitions does not animate, which is exactly what I want. It seems like it's moving a little bit as they move the camera around the character. But this is great. It's a camouflage material. And this is something we've been waiting for a long time. It's kind of hard to tell if it's moving. Yeah, it definitely is if you look at the circular parts like the shoulder. The flat areas are moving a little bit less. But yeah, basically this can work as a camouflage for any piece now. So you can customize your military inspired suit. And for the chest, they're going with basic suit there from the Watchtower Hall of Doom vendor. But I would say with this camouflage, you don't actually need to show skin for contrast because we're used to seeing full military fatigues that cover the whole body except the head. Alright, here's water. So as expected, they went lighter. and that actually looks like the water power. Yeah, the animation does make this look like it's water looking through glass. So yeah, definitely a better water material than the quantum one. And I can't name that chest off the top of my head, but it's another one that's showing the skin under. It kind of looks like Bewitching Battlesuit, but I know it's not, because that one has scales on it. But pretty interesting choice. I would definitely want this on my water character, but probably not the others. Like you can't really finesse this for quantum, I don't think, because I mean it works with the colors, but not the animation. Okay, so it looks like they're going to be pulling up nature. Will they display that nature aura though? Because that material looks very different than the aura in both quality and color. Yeah, they didn't display the aura. Oh yeah, definitely zoom in on this one. Look at the quality of that. That is actually, it looks like it's adding geometry to the pieces. And it looks almost like battle-worn armor. Like, can you imagine if they had this in like a rusty orange? The interesting thing about this is it looks like moss on metal rather than like a nature aura. And it's definitely interesting when he moves around because the whole thing turned gray when he flew up. And now he's all green. So when the camera's at the bottom, like basically things on the bottom are taking one texture and things at the top are taking that green mossy texture. This one actually looks the most interesting, but it looks different than the others. The others I would classify as special effects, whereas this one, it really looks like it's adding geometry. Especially when you zoom in. Like you could actually feel that green texture, it looks like. Yeah, I wouldn't even know what aura to put on this. I can't think of one that actually matches it. Because the power-based nature one is like green and brown. And there's no brown on this. I would probably go with the pollen aura from the spring event. Okay, there is ice. Yeah, that is definitely one that you want to get some contrast with the skin underneath. So they're going with the Halloween head, and the rest of it, well, most of it is Gorgon Slayer, not all of it though. I think those are the Minotaur shoulders. And ice looks like it's really transforming the pieces into ice. And this is definitely one of the ones that looks good with the skin showing. That way it looks like your character is wearing pieces of ice rather than being a statue. Yeah, I'm going to say this is one of my favorite ones. Because it looks really solid. And I have two different ice characters on different accounts. So yeah, this one's going to hurt. But I don't have a non-ice character that would use this, so it wouldn't go beyond 2 at least. Oh yeah, don't forget about the weapons. These are going to look good on weapons. Especially that nature one. Like if you had that, you could probably put that on a weapon just to make the weapon look old. So there's a lot of variety in here so far, even though it's special effects being blended into gear pieces. There's a lot of variety within that. And this time around, I can't say there's a weak link here. They all look good, and I want all of them. At least we're kind of getting to the end of the year where they have like a sale either on Black Friday or Christmas, so I'm kind of banking on that to recover my account. I think this is gonna deplete anything that I have. Alright, so here's Light Celestial, Blessed. And now this one really looks like an enhanced gold. The top is Divine. I believe the shoulders are also Divine, but that's another piece that's going to show the skin underneath. You see, I classified this one as one of the generic ones, and that's definitely a positive because that makes it usable on a lot of different suits. This would work on pretty much any character that I have using the gold material, which is a lot. Like, I think this one would actually replace my champion material. It looks that good. I kind of wish there was a non-colored version of this to represent silver. I think that's the last one though, right? I think that's all the powers. And I think I've mentally cycled through all of my characters, thinking about what each one would use too. But we'll definitely take a look at this, if not right away, maybe at least a weekend, just to give things a chance to settle into the broker. Because I want to see some consistency in the broker before I do a video or a price guide. But it should be interesting this time around to see which one is the most expensive one, especially if they're dropping evenly. So it's going to be some combination of what powers are being used and what looks good. But this is going to be the set that really puts materials out there. Because right now you don't see too many people wearing them, because they're still relatively rare. Except for like the few marketplace ones. The champion pack it's subtle. It's actually my favorite pack, my favorite materials until this set. Because this would replace a lot of what I'm using champion for. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, this is the Quarks vendor. So there's an update to this also, and it looks like they're letting us buy some of the rare items. So Phoenix material seems to be like the price of like Stealth, or one of the high ones that used to be in there. Everything else is much lower. So this is what we originally thought the Quarks vendor was going to do. So this is great. And we see some enhanced Shimtar parts in there. No, that was in there before, right? I think that was in there before. So they added some of the rare capsule items in there. Now, what I wish they did was, like, for example, if you see Phoenix material, I think that price should detect how much of the collection you have done. So like if you're missing just that one piece, just a feather, that price should be way lower. But if you're missing the entire, then yeah, $57.50 is fine. So again, they're not going back and awarding the effort in progress. So this favors people that completely missed the capsule, but not people who kind of chipped away at it. Because at $57.50, you're still not going to get that right away. I mean, I don't even have the stealth material yet. But I'll definitely check that out in my video, in a future video, and we'll take a look at everything that they put in there. Because either they're trickling that out bit by bit, or there's more if you scroll down, so I'm not quite sure. They probably just mentioned that too, so I'll note that if I watch this video and get some information out of it, if I watch the original video behind here. Alright, so we're rolling around on an hour already. Pretty long live stream. Are they going to be showing something else? This is quite a bit to swallow, though. Okay, what are they doing now? Oh, okay, we didn't have these before. Enhanced Green Lantern Corps emblem? How do we acquire that, though? I will put that as a caption because they're probably telling us that now. Now, why are all of those feats popping? Because I didn't see them open them. And there's an enhanced Future Crusader. Yeah, Future Crusader was the only one that didn't have an enhanced version. That was the first time capsule, and then the second one was Shimtar. Okay, are they signing off? Because that's a lot of stuff. I don't think I want more stuff than that. Because this is already going to keep me busy.